Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, or against all matters today, will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, so you are sworn on all matters, we're just going to keep moving as if you are. All right, what I'm going to do here, y'all, is I'm going to call you up. I'm going to up to the podium. I'm going to swear you in. I'm going to have you state your name, and I'm going to make certain that you're ready. At that point, what I'm going to do is, okay, Barry, is that you? Come on, don't panic. It's okay. Just come on up and have a seat in the jury box. It's just procedure. You're late, so don't panic. We're going to see you. We're going to talk to you. But everybody comes in late, goes in handcuffs, and goes in the jury box. On a bright note, you do get a more comfortable seat, and we're not about to just haul you off to the jail. It's going to be okay. Okay. So I'm going to call you up to the podium. I'm going to place you under oath. I'm going to put your name on the record, ask you a couple questions, make sure you understand what we're doing here. And then I'm going to give the floor to Director Matthews. She's going to do two things. She's going to read out the allegations of how you are alleged to have been out of compliance with your probation. Again, that's the question that's on the table today for me to answer. And then she's going to tell you what the state's recommendation is. And so she's going to give you those two pieces of information. Then I'm going to ask you, do you admit to the violations, yes or no? And is that recommendation acceptable? If you say yes and yes, I've already reviewed the recommendations. I'll very likely make yours the sentence of the court, and we'll move forward. If not, then I will dig in and we'll figure it out as we go. All right, so with that said, starting at the top, Sherry Bryant, if you'll come up to the podium. As you're walking up, if you'll please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Sherry Denise Bryant.
Ms. Bryant, you're here on 21 SR 2469 because your sentence enforcement supervisor has filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation.
Yes.
You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, floor is yours.
Judge, on 21 SR 2469, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation and the following. The defendant failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 2 of 9 scheduled appointments. The defendant failed to pay the court fees as ordered or request a waiver, being in arrears $58. The defendant failed to complete fine conversion community service hours as directed, having turned in 0 of 81 hours. The recommendation on this case is for her to report to probation weekly in person for the duration, payments of $69 a week, community service at a rate of 20 hours per week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. The next report date would be in person on February the 7th between the hours of 1 and 5.
Okay, 2 questions. Number 1, do you admit to the violations?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I agree. I've already reviewed your recommendation. I do think it is the proper recommendation. And I am more than happy to follow that recommendation and make it the order of the court.
Okay, I've already did some community service.
Great. That's exactly what we want to hear. So you hold on to that. What I'm going to do is have you step out through the double doors, wait in the hallway on one of the benches out there for the bailiffs. They're going to come out. They're going to have you sign your order. They're going to give you a copy of it before you leave so that you have paperwork in hand as you walk out.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, so if you'll head that way, so wait out in the hallway for the bailiffs. Don't leave till they come see you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, Austin, no. And the next one would be Kedrick King. All right, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, please state your full name for me.
Kendrick King.
Mr. King, you're here today on 22 TK 0484 because your sentence enforcement supervisors filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you? You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Director Matthews, floor is yours.
Judge, on 22 TK 0484, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to comply with a revocation order from December 21st, 2023, as ordered by Judge Essery. For the court's knowledge, this is the fourth revocation on this case. Our recommendation is for him to report weekly for the duration, payments of $30 a week, to convert the fine to 76 hours of community service at 10 hours a week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. His next report date would be in person on February the 7th between the hours of 1 and 5.
All right. Do you admit to the violations?
Yes, Your Honor. Like, I was ordered to pay $470, and I gave him like all the money I had, but I'm not sure that was the reason why I didn't apply. But long story short, I didn't get a chance to like pay off the fine that I was told to pay.
All right. Well, just remember, in this court, you may always work off all fines with community service work, and all fees may be waived upon request and proof of indigency. So just remember, the only time we're a cash-only court is when there's restitution to a victim, and that's it.
Yeah, when I appeared in front of her, I already signed up for community service then, and like after I didn't pay the full fine, they gave me another court date, so I already get sign up for community service to get it done.
Okay. Well, this one's going to get it done because you're either going to pay it, or I'm going to move it to community service work, and then you're either going to do your community service work, or I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand that? Like, we're at the closing moment of this case, and I'm going to close it one way or the other.
No problem.
And again, I need to stress very clearly, this is not a cash issue. This is a personal responsibility, organization, and communication issue, because we are not a cash-only court. Fair enough?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then I'm going to follow the recommendation. Frankly, whether you like it or not, we're going to get your case closed. You may step out into the hallway, and I will send your order out in just a minute. Hey, get your case closed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't want to revoke you. I just want you to close it. Go that way. Since that guy jumped over the bench in Vegas, they don't let anybody come forward anymore. All right, Amaris Miller. If you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about this matter, be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. State your full name for me,
Amaris Rashad Miller.
and you can take your hand up. Mr. Miller, you're here today on 22 TK 4262, and you're here today because your sentence enforcement supervisor has filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you are here representing yourself. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
All right. Floor's yours.
Judge, on 22 TK 4262, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine. The defendant failed to comply with the revocation terms from December the 21st of 2023 as ordered. The recommendation on this case is for him to report to probation as directed, payments of $70 biweekly, convert his fine to 55 hours at 8 hours per week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. His next report date would be in person on February the 7th of 2024 between the hours of 1 and 5.
Okay. 2 questions. Number 1, do you admit to the violations?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable?
It is, but I cannot pay the fine until February the 9th because that's when I return back fully to work because I was on leave of absence. So when I talked to Miss Matthews yesterday, when I talked to you last time, I told her my situation that my mom was sick and she was saying, can you provide paperwork? But when I went to the hospital, where she's hospitalized in right now, they didn't provide me the paperwork. So after the fact, when I seen her, she was just like, I'm gonna have to, revoke you. So I was just like, I'm gonna have to do my job. I said, that's fine. So after that, I got admitted to the hospital.
All right. And you have paperwork for that?
Yes.
Okay, that you can give to the sentence enforcement?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Just take it to your next report date.
Okay.
Okay, well, it looks to me like this recommendation will get you back, just give you a good firm nudge back where I need you to be. So, so it's clear to me you've just had a little bit of chaos, and this will give you a chance to just get everything settled. Is your mom okay? That's the most important question.
Yeah, she's out of the hospital now. Well, I mean, she's still sick with cancer, but she's doing better. She's out of the hospital, but I had got sick myself, and so but I could, go back to work and resolve this so it's gonna be all closed.
Well, that's what we would love to see you do. We just want to see you successfully close it. Tell your mom we're all thinking about her.
Thank you.
All right, if you'll step back out into the hallway and wait for the notice. Next case up is John Moore. All right, Mr. Moore, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
All right, Mr. Moore, if you will please state your full name for me.
John Moore, Jr.
All right, Mr. Moore, you are here today on 23 SR 64 because your sentence enforcement supervisors filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand that's the question on the table we're here to answer today?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
What's yours?
Judge, on 23 SR 0064, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 2 of 6 scheduled appointments. The recommendation on this case is for him to report as directed in person, payments of $25 biweekly, convert the fine to 120 hours at 6 hours per week, 0 tolerance for 120 days. Next report date would be in person on February the 7th between the hours of 1 and 5.
All right, 2 questions. Number 1, do you admit to the violations?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable?
So I've been coming here doing my community service, and
Slow down and lean to the mic.
I was coming here to do my community service, which I have my paperwork right here, and I went down to the unemployment agency to get a statement saying how much, you know, so I wouldn't have to, my fine would be waived. But yeah, I'm satisfied with that.
Okay, because we're gonna convert your fine to community service work. You can come see us. We'll put you in the comfortable chairs
Right.
around the outside, and you and I'll spend some time hanging out, okay?
Yeah, I've been doing that.
All right.
He's here all the time.
Yeah, I was about to say, your face is very familiar to me,
Yes,
so
sir.
so you just keep it up. We're gonna get you close and get me in your rearview mirror.
Yes, sir.
So, and obviously, once you finish, if you want to keep coming and watch your court, you're welcome to come, but most folks don't, so.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you may step out into the hallway, wait for the bailiffs out there. They'll come out and have you sign your order and give you a copy before you go.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you very much. All right, Tommy Phillips.
Just a mic.
Yeah, you move that thing around. It's for
All right.
shorter people like me and a little bit taller like you, so. All right, Mr. Phillips, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help
Yes,
you God?
sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Tommy Phillips Jr.
Mr. Phillips, you are here today on 21 SR 1349 because your sentence enforcement supervisor has filed paperwork with me alleging that you are out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Floor's yours.
Judge, on 21 SR 1349, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 3 of 9 scheduled appointments. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $630. The recommendation on this case is for him to report to probation in person weekly for the duration, payments of $100 weekly, convert the fine to 46 hours of community service at 12 hours a week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. The next report date would be in person on February 7th between the hours of 1 and 5.
Okay, 2 questions. Number 1, do you admit to the violation?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable?
Yes, sir.
I agree. I think it's a good recommendation. I think it gets you back on track.
All
So.
right.
All right, if you would, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, if you'll step back that way, out into the hallway, wait for the bailiffs to come out and see you, okay? For me, you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Kathy Ann Marie Serrano.
And Ms. Serrano, you are here today on 2 cases, 22 SR 1085 and 22 SR 1086, because your sentence enforcement supervisor has filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. And if you don't mind taking your hands out of your pockets for me there, and the floor is yours.
Judge, on 22 SR 1086 and 22 SR 1085, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendants failed to report to probation as ordered, having missed 3 of 6 scheduled appointments. The defendants failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered, or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $526.50 on case 22 SR 1086, and being in arrears $311.50 on case 22 SR 1085. The recommendation is for her to report to probation as directed in person until full compliance. Payments of $135 biweekly for case 22 SR 1086. To convert the fine on 22 SR 1085 to 45 hours of community service, to be completed at a rate of 8 hours per week. Zero tolerance for the duration of active probation on both cases. The next report date would be in person for both cases on February 7th, 2024, between the hours of 1 and 5.
All right, 2 questions. Number 1, on both of these cases, do you admit to the violations?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable to get both cases back in compliance?
How much to pay now so that I don't have to do community service? Cause I can't come up here for community service.
I didn't catch that last part.
I can come here for community service.
You cannot?
Yeah, I'm a single mom and I have no help.
Okay, but okay, so those are 2 different issues. So number 1, respect that. You're a single mom with no help. As far as community service work, you don't have to come here, and we're pretty creative in coming up with solutions. But if you do want to pay it, I think you have a little bit of space to try to stay ahead of that.
We're leaving the option for one case to be paid and the other one to be done with community service. There's not very much time remaining on each case, and over half the case has been served. And the case that we're requesting to be converted, there's not been a payment made to that case at all within 225 days.
Right. So I guess that's what I'm concerned about is by leaving it open, we're just going to continue setting you up, frankly, to fail because you haven't been successful in what you're asking me to do so far.
Okay. Which ticket do I have to pay today?
Well, you don't have to pay anything today. You just got to get your case back on track. So you're gonna report to your probation officer on the 7th, and that's when y'all are gonna sit down and map out this pathway to get you back on track.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm following the rest. Okay. If you will step out into the hallway, wait for the bailiffs. They will bring out your order and have you sign it. So you got 2.
I keep reaching.
Oh, that's okay. I'm making a stack here, so you can see how confusing.
My supervisor over me wasn't professional enough. Now, I accept the terms and conditions. I just had a miscommunication
What do
because
you mean wasn't professional enough? Fill me in.
because the judge, I don't know his name, but
Judge Esther.
Judge Esler, he ordered me to pay $300. I went and got the reason I was super late because I had to go get a money order and all this. I brought the $300, but when I got there, my payment couldn't be taken. She didn't want to take my payment because she said I was in arrears of $360, and that's not what the judge told me. So it might be my fault because I didn't read the paperwork that was signed by him, but to my acknowledgement, that was told from him to me.
All right, and you understand that the money question is not even on my table today. You understand that? The money issue that you're describing to me does not exist and is not on, I mean, it exists in their world, but it doesn't exist in my world because it's not, they didn't put that on the petition. All they put on the petition is that you appeared late for your very first appointment after your revocation hearing, and that you also failed to abide by your revocation terms. So I just want to be very clear with you that why you're here in front of me is because you were late for the very next appointment, and I'm just pointing out that you were late for court today. So I just need you to know that I'm not taking questions from the crowd. I just need you to know that, like, that's the issue here. This is not a cash issue. This is a personal responsibility issue. And I'm just telling you that, like, I usually when I walk you up, tell folks to take you out of the handcuffs, but I haven't done that yet because I looked at the petition and it said that you were late, and then you were late today. And frankly, I have a much easier solution than what Director Matthews is putting out there to get this case closed. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And that solution is I'm about to remove you from the pretrial diversion program. I'm about to revoke your bond, and I don't think they should have to waste time dealing with this. You've been on a terminate upon completion pretrial diversion program for 288 days. Yes, sir.
I understand that before you do anything, sir. I'm trying to follow the rules. I'm not trying to go back to jail, sir. I understand what they're saying. I had no problem. Even with today, like I said, I'm coming from Fort County. I'm rushing here. It ain't like I'm saying, it's bogus, let me do what I want to do. No, I'm trying to get here so I can get it understood of what's going on. I'm not trying to be late at all. I only have one transportation. I can see if you guys had bus lines out here, I would catch the bus. I don't have that option. So I have to wait on somebody that has a vehicle to come pick me up. I'm not fortunate to have a car. I don't mind. I have the money to pay them, and I also have the time to do my community service. That's all I have to do. I can get that knocked out by the 7th. Have my proof of community service and my payment ready to close out my case on the 7th. I was just saying that because what was told to me on the 3rd is different than the day. And if you give me the chance, sir, I can show you better than I can tell you. I'm trying not to. I have an outstanding background. I'm not trying to go back. I'm only trying to move forward. I have a child I have to take care of. Honestly. I'm not trying to give you a pity party. I'm really trying to do the right thing for once in my life.
The issue that he's trying to explain to you is Judge Estrie ordered him to pay $360. And when he came in on the 3rd, he was adamant and combative with the information with Ms. Peterson. She went and grabbed the petition, showed him where it was set at, showed him the time, showed him his signature, in an attempt to try to get him to understand what was on the order. And so again, today he's before you continuously stating that that was not Judge Estrie's order.
Well, that's why I'm pulling up Judge Estrie's order, because even though it's not in front of me, it's clearly something that I need to take a look at. And again, I think you're giving away the farm on this. I have a great solution to this issue, and it's very simple, and it makes this thing just be done. And I just have a simple solution. So, and I'm trying to talk myself out of it. So I'm just letting you know where I'm at. I'm just communicating with you extremely clearly. And so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna put up, just so you know what I'm staring at, so you can get a good look at it yourself. I'm looking at the things that are on this board.
Your Honor,
Go ahead.
without even doing all that, can I just ask the court just for
Ask.
a chance? Can I just show you? I can pay what I gotta pay, $360. I just want the chance to do it.
All right. This lady out in the gallery wishes to testify on his behalf. Will you just put her at the defense table there, and I can swear her in. She can swear her in. Ma'am, come on up to the podium if you wish. All right, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
My name is Tia Strong.
All right, do that a little more loudly.
Tia Strong.
All right, ma'am, and you waved at me a couple times out in the back. That's when I said I'm not taking questions, but you obviously have something you'd like to testify to. Tell me what you want me to know.
Okay, so when he came to court in December, I was here with him as well. And even though the document may look like 360 or 300, from what I heard in court that day, it was 300. And by me being with him and trying to push him to do better, because this is the only situation that we've been dealing with, I made sure that he had the $300, and he was probably 10 minutes late because we didn't have a set time frame when we got there. So I dropped him off first. He went in and said, hey, I have the 300. She told him that he needed a money order. We left and went to the Griffin Kroger's, came back. And by the time we came back, he called me, and I had him on speaker while I was sitting in the car while he was dealing with his probation officer. And he was just basically stating, hey, I was only told 300 in court. And I understand that the document looked like 360, looked like 300, even there it looked like 360. But in court, he was told, open mic, $300. So that's what we was stuck with. And then when we get there, she said, oh no, that's not the correct amount, I can't take it. We'll just see you back in court. He said, well, what about my new documentation for community service? I don't care where you do your community service, you don't stay out here anyway. I don't care what you do, but we'll just see you back in court. And when we tried to de-escalate the situation, they didn't want to hear that. His main probation officer was too busy to even talk to him. So they basically shut him out. We are here now, and we're being told, okay, yes, it's 360 by document, but if you was to pull the court order and listen to it back, you would actually hear the judge say $300. Because when he asked the young lady how much is it for him to pay so we can be done, she said the price is $300. He said come back January the 3rd with $300 and complete your community service hours on a weekend basis. As he stated, he cannot get a job. I'm the only one providing income at home with a 5-year-old. I'm the only one with transportation. If I was to leave this young man today, he have nothing. So by the time I get off work, grab him and my child to even bring him all the way out here, I'm wasting gas. It's not even his gas. I'm the one that's coming back out here. So for him to even be back and forth, we're just trying to settle it. It's a whole new year. We came in with that mentality. So when we got pushed back out and now we're here again, and yes, we was late today, we can't take that. But outside of that, we've been trying to do everything that's necessary to get this completed.
Okay.
Judge.
Yes.
But for you saying, just can I have the chance to do what they want me to do? That's all I'm asking you to do. And I know you got a simple solution, and I'm just trying to avoid that solution. I just want to do what they said, pay the money. I have almost enough for what they said. I can come to court. I mean, I can come on the 7th because I've been hearing it all day since we've been here today. I got to report on the 7th. I don't mind doing my community service. I don't mind paying my fine. I don't mind getting off your caseload. I want to be done with it just as much as everybody else want to be done with it. I know I got a short amount of time, and I'm not trying to be back on your caseload with anyone. Can I just have a chance to do what I'm supposed to do and get out your hair? That's all I'm asking for. I see what I'm supposed to do. I already know it's 360, 300, 360. I was short $60. They said I came in late. I agree with it. I just want the chance to do what I gotta do.
All right. Anything else you want me to know before I make my decision?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, here's the evidence as I see it. I'm looking at the order. I've put it up on the screen. He was ordered to pay $120 bi-weekly. that was marked out, replaced with 360. I'm going to take judicial notice of the fact that 120 times 3 equals $360. So whatever Judge Essery said on the bench, under Georgia law, what's on the written order controls in every court everywhere. And because the written order is the order that has the signatures, it's what gets filed with the clerk, and I don't care what was said. All I care about is what was on the order, and am I correct in understanding that this is your signature?
Yes, sir.
And you took a copy of this document with you when you left?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I don't care about what was said in the courtroom, and you can pull the transcript if you want, but what matters is what you signed and what you took with you, and it very clearly says 360, and again, 120, which is marked out, times 3 is 360. Here's why I'm frustrated. We are now on a very limited amount of time left on a pretrial diversion that was supposed to close upon completion. It is absolutely crashing and burning, and I do not, okay, listen, I do not know, I do not have the confidence that you're going to successfully complete this, but Director Matthews does. Otherwise, she wouldn't have made that recommendation. So she clearly thinks you have it in you to do this. I want you to prove me wrong.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So, but I just need you to understand that, like, it is everything in me not to close this case right now, send you with the deputies, and be done. Done. Because I'm very frustrated that I'm having to deal with this and have a revocation hearing on you being late to your revocation hearing after you being late to court today. I just need you to know how disrespectful that feels to this court, as we are trying desperately to help you successfully finish your hearing. Finish this case. Do you understand how that feels to this court?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will follow your recommendation. When you go see Director Matthews and her team, you better be respectful and thankful, because I think they're being nicer than you deserve given the actions that you've taken in this case and the actions that you haven't taken in this case. And if they email me a warrant for your arrest, I will sign it so fast your head will spin. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You can take the cuffs off.
Excuse me, Judge, just can I get a spelling?
Oh, yes, ma'am. If you'll spell your name for the court reporter.
Oh, TIA. Last name Strong, STRONG.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, let's come back to order. I'll do these two pleas, and then I think that's it. So, all right, so let's jump in with Dickinson.
Yeah, and Miss Smarr still filling out her paperwork.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, Tom, if you'll come up to the podium, please. All right, if you will please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is my word, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can grab that mic and pull it down. The whole arm moves for you there. Yep. It's so if you'll please state your full name for me.
Keila Dickinson?
All right, so that's Keilah,
Yes.
and then Dickinson, Dickenson.
Yes.
All right, you have two cases on your walk-in on your bench warrants, which is 22 SR 0882 and 0883. And we're about to do pleas on both of these. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's see, let's jump forward. I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all of the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions that I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you
Yes, sir.
and that you are here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea there will be no trial and these cases will both be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you're giving up the right to a jury trial, including all of these rights that are grouped together here together in the middle of page 1 that I'm pointing at?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, so let's talk about the facts of your case just a little bit. Starting with 22 SR 0882 with the obstruction. Did you commit the offense of obstruction back on July 23rd of 2020
Yes, sir.
with Officer, looks like a Griffin police officer maybe, give me a second, with Officer Bloom with the Griffin Police Department? Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, moving on to 0883. Did you, here in Spalding County, commit the offense of theft by shoplifting in that you did so back on January 26, 2021 at the Walmart by taking merchandise to your own use and depriving Walmart of ownership? Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
Did you also obstruct Patrol Officer Ruiz, a law enforcement officer in lawful discharge of her official duties by kicking her in the leg?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt across all of your charges and all of your cases that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Are there any questions about anything I can answer for you?
No, sir.
You ready? All right, here we go. Ms. Dickinson, on 22 SR 0882 from July 23rd of 2020, count 1 obstruction, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months of probation, $445 is your fine. On both cases, you will need to show your valid driver's license probation. You can work off your fine with community service work. You'll have no illegal drugs, hemp products, or alcohol and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver. On each case, you're going to pay an individual $50 per month supervision fee. I'm so sorry, they're consecutive. There'll be a $50 per month supervision fee. Each case will have its own $25 intake fee. This case will run consecutive to any current sentences, any Spalding County State Court sentences. And you may go to phone report after or e-report after orientation. 20 hours of community service work, and you shall not have any contact with any Walmart locations. All right, moving on to the next case, 22 SR 0883. On this case, Count one, shoplifting, guilty, 12 months, 445 is your fine. Count two, obstruction, guilty, 12 months, 445 is your fine. This is consecutive to 22 SR 0882. It's also phone report, or e-report. I'm practicing saying e-report. It's e-report. This one, though, may terminate the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. So I'm sentencing you to 24 months of total probation. But after 12 of that, if you've done everything you're supposed to do, your cases will both close. We're all closed. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, no contact whatsoever with Walmart. All right, that's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal these decisions. You have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember reading about habeas on the back of the right sheet there?
Yes.
Okay. And can I answer any questions for you before we part ways?
No.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and seat out there. I'm going to take this plea and the Director Matthews will come speak with you. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
He doesn't need to walk now.
That's one of those, I would have run concurrent, but now we're doing it
Yeah.
that way that you asked me to do.
Please, keep
Or
your
shoes
shoes out.
Exactly.
Yeah, it works for everybody. It gives them some incentive to close it. Do it.
Yes,
And because you understood everything that's on it.
yes,
Ms. Marr, you have the right to have an attorney represent you. Do you understand that?
yes,
And you're here representing yourself.
yes,
Is that what you want to do on your case?
yes it is.
You have the right to have a jury trial. Do you understand that?
I do.
And by entering this plea, you're giving up the right to a jury trial, including these key rights I'm pointing at in the middle of page 1 that are in this group.
Yes,
Is that what you want to do?
yes it is.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
I am.
Have you used a NOLO in the last 5 years on any suspended license charges?
No, I haven't.
All right, so did you, I'm so sorry. Do you want me to use your NOLO on a suspended license charge, this suspended license charge from December 5th of 2019 here in Spalding County?
Yes, I do.
All right, I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights during this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it exactly the way you've negotiated it. Any questions that I can answer for you about anything so far?
No, thank you.
You ready?
Yes,
All right, here we go. Jessica Smar, 21 SR 2371 from December 5th of 2019. Suspended license, the NOLO is granted. It's 12 months of probation, $692.50 is your fine. Do you show your valid license to probation? No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, any questions about anything before you and I part ways?
no, no questions.
All right, if you'll have a seat in the gallery out there, Director Matthews will come speak with you in just a minute. All right, anybody else?
Yeah, one more walk-in just come in.
Oh, okay. Director.